Hello? Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the court of the Edijester. How are we, good peeps? I hope everything's all right with you. I've got a piece here from the Daily Mail, which is worth us considering, because it discusses a subject that I feel is not touched on even vaguely enough, to be frank. And it comes from at Paul Blonde, P-O-L-B-L-O-N-D-E, Paul Blonde, and it appears in the Daily Fail. Now, Paul Blonde, in case you didn't know, is Joan Smith. And Joan is on Twitter and writes about, and she's got a new book out about Roman women. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I'd like to see Joan having a chat with Ellen Dale. Come on, make it happen, the pair of you. That's what I'd like. I'd like to see Joan having a chat with Ellen Dale about Romans. What have the Romans ever done for us? I wouldn't mind asking her what she thinks of the portrayal of Livia in I, Claudius. So, Paul Blonde, if you're watching this, find me on Twitter and tell me, what did you think about the portrayal of Livia in I, Claudius, which I know is, there's a certain artistic license going on there, but I still think it's terribly interesting, so I would like to know. Now, other than that, what Paul Blonde raises, and I think that we need to do an awful lot more to understand, is the situation of trans widows, which I've mentioned before, but many other people seem to fail to do so. It's great to see that this is being mentioned in the Daily Mail article from Paul Blonde, which says, "It pains me to say," Joan says, "but a profoundly woman-hating ideology has Labour in a steely grip. That's why I spoil my ballot paper today. Today being the election day, right? You a bit of a lefty, Joan. Come on, you can do better." I love it. "I used to be excited by elections," says Joan. "So did I. Do you remember? Honest to God, Joan, do you remember that? Used to get together with your friends. I remember, and then everybody would watch it. You'd all sit there cheering when, Ken Clark went off with his own removal van, or when, Labour got a drub in. It's gone, isn't it? There's something terribly depressed about the whole damn thing now. So Joan is talking here from, to a certain degree, a personal view about her opinion on what's going on with Labour. But there's one particular bit that I want to bring to your attention for you to consider. And that is in regards to what is known as the spousal veto, which is I think that's the language of the cult, frankly, but you can tell me in the comments. The party, which is Labour, plans to make it easier to get a document changing legal sex, allowing biological men to conceal the fact they were born male. They've made no bones about this. They're going to make it easier. It will allow husbands to get this document before their wives have had a chance to seek an annulment. Unbelievably, forcing women into same-sex marriage they haven't agreed to is now Labour Party policy. So we've talked a number of times, and we know this is going on, the nonsense of a legal sex, which should not exist, by the way. That needs to go, all needs to go. But effectively, it places the woman who has then got this bloke who's pretending to be a woman into a same-sex marriage they didn't agree to. The marriage contract is irrevocably broken when these LARPing men do this, right? They should have some standards, you bunch of weak nutters. Have some damn standards. It will ban so-called conversion therapy, defined as an attempt to try to change someone's sexual orientation or gender identity. This would place parents and counsellors at risk of prosecution if they vocally disagree with a child who wants to change sex. What Labour won't do, change sexes in speech marks, by the way, Joan's no fool. What Labour won't do is amend the Equality Act to say that sex means biological sex, not someone's nebulous gender identity. It's a simple step supported by many women's organisations, but Starmer himself has ruled it out. Absolutely unbelievable. But what they've mentioned there, that first thing that I mentioned about the need for the wife to be able to have an annulment, what they call the spousal veto, is really, really important, folks. Because that allows the women to get out of it. And Labour want to do away with it. They want to do away with it. They are absolutely committed to giving these fetishistic men power. Absolutely committed to giving these fetishistic men power. And I'm filming this on the day of the election, but it ain't going out, for a couple of days or whenever it's going out. So we'll know by now. You'll know by now when you're watching this. Joan will know by now. Whether or not we've ended up with a Labour government, which is very, very, I would say is almost a foregone conclusion at this point. But can you imagine what that is? There'll be no spousal veto. So the wife's got no, I'm done with you. They want to get rid of it. They want to make it easy. They want one doctor to be able to do it. Can you imagine? Webley will be busy. And they're going to do it. It's going to happen. And then the generations that follow us are going to spend 50 to 60 years undoing it all, which is exactly what we had to do when they made gay sex illegal. It took 100 years. Now they're going to make conversion therapy of gay people legal. We've got another 100-year fight on our hands, and we have to pass it down through the generations. It's the only way we can end it. One person at a time. Come be a warrior teacher. That's what our game is. One person at a time. All right? So think about the women. What these women go through because of these bloody men, these cross-dressing men who decide when they're 41 that they're Linda instead of, Lawrence. Think about the women. All right? I'll see you later. Bye-bye.